Picture this, it's 0300 hours, a Jalisco cartel safe house in Tijuana's outskirts is quiet. A SEAL team, 6 operators, fast rope from stealth MH-60 Blackhawks, silent as death. An Air Force MQ-9 Reaper orbiting unseen at 40,000 feet has been tracking this fentanyl super lab for days using infrared sensors and SIGINT, pinpointing the cartel's top enforcer. It's go time. The SEALs breach with flashbangs, neutralizing guards in seconds. A D-drone counter-UAS system scrambles cartel drones before they can launch an alert. The enforcer's captured, the lab's rigged with charges, and the team's gone in under 10 minutes, leaving a fireball in their wake. This is a situation that could be happening any day because the US has said that it is time now to hit the cartels so hard they're going to need a cold shower to recover. They're essentially going to need to live in a cold plunge. They're going to get hit so hard. And like the famous quote says from Tony Stark, we're going to hit them with everything we've got. This is the US military's new war, precise, relentless, and ready to dominate. President Trump's labeled these cartels terrorist organizations, and the Pentagon's bringing the heat with elite forces, air power, and cutting-edge anti-drone tech. How will it actually go down once this kicks off for real? It's already going on as we speak, but it's ramping up every single day. Let's dive into this new war with the chaos, the stories, and the tech breakdowns, and the latest on what's going on with the fight against the cartels. My name's Ryan, also known as Max Afterburner, also known as the fighter pilot next door, former F-15E combat fighter pilot, F-16 Thunderbird pilot, and I'll be breaking down this war on the cartels, having worked with multiple special operations teams in combat, and then having provided air power in combat high-value target situations, which will likely be similar to what is used against the cartels. Because it's clear, guys, at this point, the cartels are no longer just narco thugs. They can't hide behind that moniker of "don't mind us, we're just narco thugs, no big deal." At this point, they're terrorist armies. Sinaloa and Jalisco cartels smuggle fentanyl that's killed an estimated 450,000 Americans in a decade, dwarfing the 58,000 US military deaths in the Vietnam War. This is just insane. And the cartels are using drones to drop explosives, smuggle drugs, and attack our border forces. In July of 2025, reports surfaced that cartel operatives are sneaking into Ukraine's International Legion to learn FPV, first-person view drone tactics. And those drones are $400 killers that can strike with surgical precision. They want to hit rivals, they want to assassinate leaders, they want to outmaneuver US and Mexican forces. This isn't just a border crisis anymore, it's a national security emergency, and the US military is stepping up with advanced tech to crush it. Let's see exactly how that's going down. So why are the cartels training in Ukraine? Well, it's the world's drone warfare lab. Since Russia's invasion, Ukraine's perfected FPV drones that fly through windows and evade jammers. A Mexican operative's alias, Aguila 7, is said to have joined Ukraine's Legion in March of 2024 with fake Salvadorian papers, mastering drone tactics in Lviv. Linked to Mexico's elite GAFE or GAF special forces, he's likely tied to the Zetas cartel. And also 3 ex-FARC guerrillas from Colombia also infiltrated the FPV Academy, learning thermal evasion and electronic warfare. Their mission? Bring these skills back to Mexico to dominate rivals and attack police. Ukraine's SBU with Interpol and DEA is cracking down. They're learning to fight like Ukraine, NATO, the US, but emerging technologies are keeping the edge towards the West. But the Pentagon's deploying the best. At this point, it's rumored that Delta Force and even SEAL Team 6 could be prepping for covert ops to neutralize cartel kingpins. The Army's 10th Mountain Division is in Arizona, and they're using AN/MPQ-64 Sentinel radars to track drones. Stryker units, fast and lethal, are fortifying South Texas to counter aerial and ground threats. The Navy's ready for Gulf of America interdiction to choke smuggling routes as well. And then National Guard rapid response teams are locking down the border with Homeland Security. With cartels learning Ukrainian drone tricks, NORTHCOM is adapting fast as well, coordinating with the 7th Special Forces Group to train Mexican commandos while avoiding past mistakes, like when the US trained Mexican elites that then formed the Zetas cartel. So yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't need to create our own enemies anymore. And we'll build off of that example from the intro. So let's picture this: 0200 hours, a Sinaloa cartel compound in Sonora. Delta Force operators inserted by Black Hawk helicopters move like shadows. Intel from CIA MQ-9 Reaper drones flying covertly over Mexico since 2024 pinpointed a fentanyl lab. The Reaper's multi-spectrum cameras detected chemical plumes, while Signals Intelligence tracked the cartel boss's phone. US Special Forces are slipping in so smooth, it's like a fox entering the henhouse. The cartels won't know what hit them until it's too late. The team breaches the compound, neutralizing guards with suppressive rifles. Anduril's Pulsar jams cartel drone signals, preventing alerts. An Anvil interceptor takes out a cartel FPV drone mid-flight. Within minutes, the boss is zip-tied, the lab's destroyed, and the team's out before backup arrives. This is surgical. Delta's skills have been honed for this in Iraq and Afghanistan, but Mexico's protests loom, of course, and cartels could retaliate with urban attacks. It's high risk, high reward. So cartels are wielding Ukraine-honed FPV drones and tactics to fly them, but the US has Anduril Industries' cutting-edge counter-UAS tech, battle-tested by SOCOM and the Marines. Anduril's Lattice platform and AI-powered command and control system integrates sensors like the Sentry Tower's radar and optical cameras with machine learning algorithms to detect, track, and classify drones in real time. The Anvil Interceptor, a low-collateral rotary-wing drone, autonomously chases and rams threats with precision, minimizing damage. Pulsar's electronic warfare jams drone signals, while Roadrunner M, a VTOL interceptor, takes out larger UASs with high explosive payloads. In a $642 million Marine Corps contract and a $1 billion SOCOM deal, Anduril systems protect bases by automating the kill chain, alerting operators for human-in-the-loop decisions if needed, but also using AI to strike threats. Special Forces could deploy portable Lattice nodes during raids as well, using Pulsar to disrupt cartel drones and Anvil to neutralize them, ensuring covert ops stay undetected. This tech's open architecture allows upgrades, keeping it ahead of cartel tactics. Cartels don't stand a chance against this AI-driven defense. And let's talk about air power being the hammer. As you guys know, I might enjoy air power just a little bit, but the Air Force's MQ-9 Reaper and P-8 Poseidon scour Mexico for cartel labs, spotting targets with unmatched precision. Trump's August 2025 directive greenlights potential kinetic strikes, but Mexico's president, Sheinbaum, calls it a sovereignty violation, of course. So tensions are high. Mexico doesn't want it to look like they don't know what they're doing, but after a decade of 450,000 Americans being killed by fentanyl, yeah, Mexico, we're gonna need to see a little bit of change here. The Air Force could also deploy F-35s or AC-130 gunships for precision strikes, but those legal hurdles and political hurdles remain, because having unmanned systems like drones and surgical strikes creates less of a rock of the boat than having F-35s and AC-130s with actual pilots and operators up flying those jets. So whether it's drones or manned systems, our air power's dropping bombs so precise the cartels will feel tingles in places they never knew they had. Imagine this situation. So imagine a Jalisco cartel convoy in Chihuahua loaded with fentanyl precursors. An MQ-9 Reaper orbiting 50,000 feet above tracks it with Vader radar, mapping every vehicle. Targets confirmed. The Pentagon, with Mexico's reluctant nod, authorizes a strike. An F-35 Lightning II could also drop a GBU-39 small diameter bomb, or the drone itself could use a kinetic response like a GBU-39. The lead truck vanishes in a fireball, scattering the convoy. Cartel drones, Ukraine-trained FPV models launched to retaliate, but Anduril's Sentry Towers detect them, and a Roadrunner M intercepts and obliterates them. We're swatting their drones like a fly at a barbecue, leaving cartels with nowhere to hide at this point, guys. As Deadpool quipped in 2016, it's time for maximum effort.
Maximum effort. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. Maximum effort.
And that's exactly what is being brought to this fight. This one potential strike alone on this hypothetical convoy could disrupt a $10 million shipment. But cartels, of course, vow revenge, eyeing US border towns. Air power hits hard, but the fight's escalating. But for this fight, the tech is going to be hugely important. Special Forces need fast, quiet insertion, and the MH-60M Blackhawk is the workhorse, most likely. Used by the 160th SOAR, it features advanced avionics, FLIR sensors, and terrain-following radar for low-altitude night ops. Its noise-dampening rotor blades reduce detection, critical for cartel raids. The MH-47G Chinook, also from the 160th SOAR, carries heavier teams and gear with potential mid-air refueling for long-range missions. But these helicopters would have to park further away with a couple kilometers between the landing point and the actual target itself. But both of these choppers use composite materials and vibration reduction for stealthier profiles. The Osama bin Laden raid in 2011 used modified stealth Blackhawks with radar-absorbing coating and angular design to evade Pakistani radar. Ideal for deep Mexican ops, but likely overkill for border missions. Cartel compounds lack advanced air defenses, so standard MH-60Ms with their speed and agility are sufficient, paired with Anduril's counter-drone tech to neutralize aerial threats. Stealth helicopters are reserved for high-risk, sovereign-sensitive missions, but their tech, low observable coating, and noise suppression sets the standard for soft insertions. But you would also want fighter covers, so potentially having caps of F-35s or Anduril's Fury that could strike down any surface-to-air threats that might try to target the helicopters. Now let's talk about a hypothetical drone versus drone showdown that could happen any day now. It's dusk in Nogales, Arizona. A cartel FPV drone trained in Ukraine's tactics crosses the border with a fentanyl payload. The 10th Mountain Division's Sentinel radar spots it. Deploying a pulsar to jam its signal, boom, that drone is down. But the cartels know that these drones can be targeted easily, so to defend against this, they launch a swarm. An MQ-9 Reaper armed with Hellfire missiles is cleared under new Northcom rules. It fires, obliterating the swarm in a fiery cascade. The ops is success, but Mexico cries foul, and cartels threaten retaliatory strikes on US soil. In addition, you could also use the MQ-9 Reaper to help F-15Es and F-15EXs target drone swarms with their laser-guided rocket pods. It's said that F-15Es and F-15EXs can now carry up to 40 laser-guided rockets. So imagine a 4-ship being able to target a couple hundred of these drones. The game has changed, and at this point, anti-drone technology is back. Yeah, it's like John Wick said, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
And the US is back at this point to dominate this drone war. Tech versus tech, it's game on when it comes to this drone fight. So at this point, America is fighting to win this new drone war against the cartels. The cartels thought they could outsmart the US, training in Ukraine and arming drones, but the US military is unstoppable. Delta Force raids, F-35 strikes, MQ-9 Reapers, and Anduril's AI-powered counter-drone tech are dismantling the empire, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. The MH-60 Blackhawks and advanced anti-drone systems give the US forces the edge. From covert ops to sky-dominating air power, the US is hitting back hard. The US is basically saying with no uncertainty that the fentanyl crisis and cartel terror end here. This is America's new fight, and the US is bringing the full force to crush the cartels. The US is basically entering a game of Street Fighter, and they're saying, let's finish this.
Finish him.
What do you think about this new war against the cartels? How long do you think till it makes an impact? Let me know in the comments below. And the best compliment you can give me is just watch this video right here. That's the best way you can help out the channel. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you on this video right here. This is Ryan, also known as Max Afterburner, also known as the fighter pilot next door, signing off.